My next patron question is from Andrew, who wants me to compare two movies from the same director and lead actor. I would like for you to compare two romantic comedies from the 2000s that star Hugh Grant and were both directed by Marc Lawrence, and see which one you find to be better overall, 2 Weeks' Notice or Music and Lyrics. Marc Lawrence has led an interesting career, as a lot of the projects he worked on had some lead actor in common. His first credits were as a writer on the television series Family Ties, starring Michael J. Fox. He then made the jump to features by writing the movie Life with Mikey, with Michael J. Fox. He wrote a few Sandra Bullock vehicles, and then eventually made his feature directing debut on 2 Weeks' Notice, starring Bullock and Hugh Grant. After that, he directed 3 movies featuring Grant until Noel. So is he now going to start collaborating with Anna Kendrick? Regarding 2 Weeks' Notice and Music and Lyrics, I found them to be fairly run-of-the-mill rom-coms, but 2 Weeks' Notice has a slight edge. What helps 2 Weeks' Notice is the charming presence of Sandra Bullock. She brought a spark to her character, especially in the early scenes, where we see her actively campaigning for heritage sites and her first months on the job with Grant. No, it's not the most three-dimensional character, but she makes Lucy likable, and you hope things work out for her and the community center she's trying to save. I think what hurts 2 Weeks' Notice is that Grant's real estate developer, George, just is not all that likable. Grant has some of his trademark one-liners, but I did not sense much chemistry between him and Bullock. In any romantic comedy, even ones that start with the protagonists disliking one another, you need to buy that they will eventually fall in love and wind up together. And there was not a scene that made me see how in love Lucy and George are. When Lucy appears to be infatuated with him, it just seems to come out of nowhere. As a result, I also found the second half of 2 Weeks' Notice to be a bore to sit through. The movie tries to sprinkle in some comedic set pieces, like an episode of Diarrhea, but I was not that invested in them eventually becoming romantically attached. Oh, and by the way, Donald Trump makes a cameo. He's not even president anymore, and he's still inescapable. Meanwhile, in Music and Lyrics, Grant has even less chemistry with his co-star. Him and Drew Barrymore are trying, and Grant says a few amusing jokes, but they're not given the strongest material to work with. Although Grant himself has admitted they did not get along well on set. I can buy that, as I did not believe their blossoming relationship, although it's also because of Barrymore's behavior in the story. I understand the idea is to contrast someone who knows the ins and outs of the music business with someone who has no experience in that world. However, she's treating a love song they're writing for a pop star like it's some masterpiece that's going to change the world. The movie seems to treat Grant as some sellout because he's fearful of offending the Taylor Swift-type singer they're working for, and that's not fair to him. I found the eventual third-act breakup to be contrived as a result. The movie does attempt some satire with the pop star played by Haley Bennett. Filmmakers comment on the over-sexualization of pop stars at the time, like Swift and Britney Spears, of her stage act and the way she dresses, but it's fairly surface level. They do a really good job with the songs though. These are songs I can buy someone like Spears singing and becoming big hits with her target audience. Same with the song Pop Goes My Heart, the hit single of Grant's fictional 80s band, which is very much in the tradition of tunes like We Built This City and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. I should also mention that I legitimately thought both Grant and Barrymore were dubbed by other singers for their musical scenes, but no, that's actually them singing the songs. This was my second viewing of Music and Lyrics, as I first saw it several years ago, and I was hoping with the passage of time I would appreciate the film a lot more nowadays. But my opinion is about the same as it was back in 2007. With that said, Marc Lawrence is a director who is comfortable with the kinds of films he makes, and I think that's really neat. I'm curious to see what he decides to direct in the future and whether he will return to work with Hugh Grant again, despite the actor moving away from romantic comedies over the past number of years. Now let me know in the comments whether you prefer 2 Weeks' Notice or Music and Lyrics, and thank you for your question, Andrew.